Welcome back to The Purpose Works, and I'm Jane Lauterbach. Today I'm going to salute my mom, and my mom always had these wonderful sayings, and one big one was, life is made of choices. So we're going to shift it a little bit today and say that life is about making adjustments. We all know instinctively that we have to make adjustments all the time. In fact, we make them every single day. We think the weather's going to be beautiful. We hop outside to go on a bike ride, and all of a sudden it starts to rain, and we got to shift and go back inside and do the Peloton. But usually what has us upside down, we have to make these adjustments. It comes around, the ambiguity around, direction and outcome. Ambiguity is worse than threat. The reason adjustments are difficult is that it's a sense of leaving something behind, a sense of some form of grief. I really did want to go on that bike ride, but I couldn't, and I feel sad about it because I really needed to get outside and enjoy the beautiful weather, or what was supposed to be the beautiful weather. So there's sorrow usually in some way attached to having to make some sort of an adjustment. Maybe a trust was violated, or there's some sort of discomfort involved in the process. And many times, it's that sense of not really knowing what the future is going to be, that sense of going from certainty to uncertainty. So we all know that there is ambiguity in our lives all the time, big and small. The challenge really is, how do we navigate around the things that are unexpected? How do we navigate around the confusion, the feelings that overwhelm us? We have to think about kind of shifting those gears a little bit. So the issue is not necessarily what it is. The issue is, how do I actually do that? I used to think too, and many of us do, that wouldn't it be nice if I just sort of sat here and expected someone to come along and save me? We would all love that. In fact, a couple of years ago, I got into graduate school twice, and it was incredibly expensive. So I always thought, wouldn't it be great if Warren Buffett came around and would be able to kind of pay for my college tuition? Well, that didn't happen, right? But the thing is, leadership, any kind of doing leadership, is around making those things happen, not waiting for things to show up. And particularly now, it's a little bit more difficult sometimes to sort of get up and kind of take that first step. A wise person had once said to me, the way to get started is to quit talking about it and just start. One of my favorite expressions too is that luck happens to those who are prepared. So how do you get prepared? How do you get started? So here's a couple of kind of rules of thumb. 1, set an intention. What is it that you want to do? The more clarity that we have about what it is that we want to do, the more likely it is that we're going to get there. In fact, those people that set that intention and that goal are 10 times more likely to get it done than those who don't. So figure that out. The next thing, don't think about the final goal. Oh my God, that's too big, can't do it. How do you want to break it down into micro steps? How do I want to easily integrate whatever those steps are into my daily life? Because if it's too big and too much, we're never going to get there. That's why most people who set out in the beginning of the year for their New Year's resolution never get there, because what they need to do is so big. It's kind of like when I teach meditation, people say, I'd really like to do that, but I don't know how to meditate every single day. Well, don't. Meditate maybe twice a week or once a week, and do that for 2 weeks, and then add another day. Do it slowly, because you need to figure out, how does that get into all the other things that you're responsible for? And as the Chinese proverb so well said, small drops fill up a bucket. So think about where you are now and where you want to be 4 months from now. Or think about where you were 4 months ago and where are you now. And that gives you a sense of how you can easily, and how important it is, to figure out these small steps to get there. My other favorite one is invite support, accountability. There's nothing better than having someone sort of being there to cheer you on. Have someone who can be your accountability partner, someone that you don't want to disappoint either, and someone that can help you figure out that step that you want to take, that's way too big. Are you really going to get all that stuff done within a certain amount of time? Someone to help you really calibrate how to create the right micro steps. And so they find too that when you write something down, you're 36% more likely to get it done. I think the statistic is correct. But when you share it with somebody else, it's up into the 80%. So why not? Share it, say it out loud, have that support and have that guidance. And the other piece is measure it. We never know in the scheme of our day how much we actually get done, so write it down. Did I meditate that one day that I said I was? And the following week too? So when you write it down, we get to actually see it. And the best part is to celebrate it. We go from problem to problem to problem, and we never pause and acknowledge the successes, the things that we said that were going to get done, we never acknowledge it. And so the more that we acknowledge it, the bigger the steps can be and the bigger the goals can be. So as our friend Confucius has said, when it's obvious that the goals cannot be reached, don't adjust the goals, adjust the action steps. If you found this video of value, share it with others. We'd welcome in hearing what your action steps are, what your intentions are. Share it with us down below and meet with us also at the Purpose Works. Thank you.